Hello, my name is 𝒏𝒏𝒮𝒋, and I'm here to provide you a full moon insight reading utilizing my 3-volume oracle set, which is Astro Herbal, which allows you to support your nature, nourish your nature, and nurture your nature. Now, this is my recently illustrated and published deck in which I provide various medicinal plants, keywords in association with the astrological sense so that it may provide any additional insight not only to the unique properties of the plant, but as well as providing messages that may aid and assist us on the path. So in an ideal way, I utilize nature to support our nature. By nature, for nature, as nature. It's how we roll. So allow me to dive into this reading because every full moon I like to give insights to the clarity that comes into being. It may be directive to the collective, or it may be based off the individual tuning in. As this is more of a synchronistic unraveling, I invite you to explore to see your particular sign you're attracted to of the 12 zodiac and see what messages can come about. This is for you, this is a service, and if you appreciate it at any way whatsoever, there's many pursuits that you can look into to support this, whether you simply just subscribe to the channel and let it be known that there is more to be seen, or if you'd like to get something more permanent like a reading in particular, or even your own personalized custom illustrated natal chart, those are available in my shop. So feel free to check that out, and without further ado, let's dive into the reading. Now, I utilize each of these decks so that every sign will have at least one message from each of the decks. This will allow an easier method for providing insight. So let's each take the decks out so that we have them all handy and available. And let's provide it a shuffle in this moment so that everything's prepared in advance. Okay, so now that we're going to dive into each of the signs, I'd like to bring up the first one, Aries. Aries is going to welcome us the message in which we are going to receive the ginkgo leaf. Ginkgo leaf provides the message for golden love. It's associated with the mercurial processing of Libra. So it's the way in which we're coming to allow an expression to be through the balancing of it. So if we become golden, we're balancing the act of securing the right frequency to reach that golden state. Since gold's a very refined and very sought out metal, its structure, its capability for electrical potential is heightened to the degree that it's interactive with the world present. So having golden love is allowing you to have interactive love that radiates, that shines, that provides you the ability to just be through the essence of just allowing your light to be emitted into the world. So that opens up your message so far. Now let's see where to nourish yourself, which you receive 𝒼𝒨. 𝒼𝒨 is asking you to have joyous celebration. And this is a Venusian Leo card. So it's the way in which you're connecting to others to honor the self. Maybe this joyous celebration is about you or someone that you love and that is dear to you. This celebration is more about the moment of you witnessing and allowing that joy to be had so that you are embodying the message through the essence of your acts. And as Aries is the one to act, ensure that this joyous celebration continues to allow you to shine. So continue on to your third card and the message to help nurture yourself. You receive the flower of hornbeam. Now this is be action. This plays off previously just stating how Aries likes to act. So in this time, it's calling you into action. Now, this is more of a Saturnian Aries card, so this is more long-term. This is something that is based off the structure, the system of who you are and how you are. It is time to act, because it's going to unravel a process that may take many, many, many years. But by doing so now, you at least begin the journey so that you are along the way. When the Hobbit leaves the home of the Shire, they are embarking on a journey from the moment they step forward. So be a part of that journey and allow that journey to unravel, because your place in it and your part in it is allowing you to shine. So celebrate that journey of life that you're on, and I hope this message assists you during this full moon. Thank you very much, Aries, and now let's move on to the next sign. So Taurus, the message I'll provide for you to support your nature shall be 𝒟𝒨. Now, 𝒟𝒨 is asking you to be divine protection. This could be that you're there for somebody, or it could be that you're divinely protected. This card is allowing this Uranus and Scorpionic sense to come into play. So it's coming out of the blue, but it's of a depth. So we want to be able to show that it can give us something that is willing to dive deep down into the truth of it all, because in this aspect we want to ensure that we're getting closer to understand what is necessary to continue forward with, in which case the divine protections offer us the ability to grow and transform by the safety of allowing universe to synchronistically unravel before us. So this is something of a positive nature to help support you. To nourish your nature, Taurus, you're provided the plant of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper provides a spicy boost. So if by chance that you happen to have it in your cabinet, this may be a best time to include it in some of your recipes or dishes that you may be encountering along this journey of yours. This Mars yet Aries sign is asking you to bring the fire within. It's a spicy boost. It allows you to have more energy and passion to drive you forward. When we have more energy, we have more fire, a burst. We're more warm. We're more willing to create motion. And in that motion, a lot of change can occur. It can come from us. It can come through us. If you're divinely protected to have this spicy boost, maybe it's time for you to have that boost so that fire within you, that spirit, that shine, can continue onward in its own way. Now, to help nurture you, you're provided holly. Holly is asking you to be love. So it's the sense of how you love. It is the fact that you can love. And by doing so unconditionally, you will provide the gifts back into the world. By being love, you will nurture both yourself as well as those around you because of the radiation of love in which you're able to emit within your field. Now, this is a Saturnian Libra card. So this is the long term. This is the commitments. This is the way in which we bring balance. By being love, you bring balance to be to the systems that are all around you. This is the message for you today, Taurus, because it's allowing you to understand it all coming together. Because you're divinely protected to receive a spicy boost to help bring you forward. So just be that love and accept this essence in which you're here for the opportunity, because it will guide you along your path and provide you the additional messages that you will pick up from this step forward. So thank you very much for tuning in, Taurus. Now moving on to our next sign, which is Gemini. Gemini, to help support your nature, you're provided blessed thistle. Blessed thistle is asking you to have nurtured nature, which in case is allowing you to bring forth and nourish it so that it can come into itself. So this is a Jupiterian yet Virgonian card. Because of this, we want to ensure that we're expanding what really counts and what goes in matters. Because sometimes it's about the minor little details to make sure that you have all the recipes of the ingredient to make sure that it pulls off what you're trying to achieve. In which case, you're rewarded by a delicious meal. Or, in which case, if it's a plant, you're bringing forth something that will continue to fruit and seed for many years to come. So blessed thistle is allowing you to nurture the nature. Maybe the nature is what is within you or of you, in which we are all nature. Honoring that nature will always guide us to where we're meant to be. To help nourish you during this time, you're receiving avocado. Avocado is asking you to be a powerhouse. Now, to help nourish you, it might be that it's time to increase the power, to put out there what your gifts are, to be as you are. And to nurture that nature means to accept and allow that nature to be. If it is a stream of being, then you can allow that to flow into the world, which in essence allows your power to be expressed, and thus continues on the flow of your being by growing through an experience of witnessing and honoring that essence. Now, this Jupiterian yet Leo card tells you to amplifying your shine. The fact that your heart space is present means that it wants to be able to emit a little more. That's the way we shine into the world. You have a lot of light to give, so allow that powerhouse to be turned on, because it's time to bring forth what it is your nature is. And to help nurture that, you're going to be provided the message of water violet, which is to be known. So it's time to express yourself, Gemini. It's time to speak up. It's time to shine who you truly are. With this message being Venusian yet Virgonian sense, you want to make sure that you're connecting to the right people, but you're connecting in a way that honors the receptivity. You want to be able to take in and create with this sense that you are honoring who you are. And through that, you will find your message, you will find your answers, and universe will help you arrive to where you need to be. So thank you very much, Gemini, and I hope that message helps assist you during this full moon. Moving on to our next sign, we uncover Cancer. Now Cancer, to help bring your support of your nature to its highest potential, you're given the message of Black Walnut, which is to find mature solutions. Now this is a Jupiterian yet Capricornian card, so we want to expand, but we want to expand for this long-term stability of external security. We want to ensure that this system will operate the day we decide to allow rest to be present so that it can continue on. So mature solutions, allowing for that long-term growth, that long-term way of solving it once so you don't have to do it again. So think real hard about what it is you want to bring forth, because the mature solutions you're seeking of will help bring you to your best support. Moving on to how to nourish you during this full moon, you're provided holy basil. Holy basil is asking you to rest easy. So it could be that these mature solutions might not be always proactive. Sometimes it's receptive. Sometimes solution is to rest easy, to be easy. Sometimes we push ourselves and do too much. We need to honor that there's a scale. And when we give too much, we also allow ourselves to need recharging, to allow rest so that we can return to our best place, continuing to provide into being. Now this is a Mars and Virgonian card. So this is about bringing forward what counts on the step forward. So your journey will have what it needs when it needs it. That is the mature solution. And sometimes resting easy provides us that solution, even if it just comes to us. Now to help nurture you during this time, you're giving Scleranthus. Scleranthus is asking you to be precise. So maybe it is about the details. This is also Virgonian, but this is very Venusian based. So this is asking more to be precise about how you're connecting to others, how you're creating, how you're receptive, and how those around you are receptive to you. Those connections, those relationships, those are what matter. So maybe it's time to have what truly counts so that you can provide yourself the opportunity to discover the solution that will be the most long-term and beneficial. So I hope that message assists you today, and thank you very much for tuning in. Moving on to the next sign, will be provided a message for Leo. Now Leo, to help support your nature, you're provided wormwood, and wormwood carries the message of youthful solutions. Now this is a Mars with Libra, so it's about taking action but within balance. And because Mars is in Aries, it tends to oppose that of Libra being receptive. But in reality, Libra is the dance of bringing two forces to find balance. So when you want to do so with a Mars, this is asking you to take action within balance, to honor yourself without overgiving, but also to ensure that you show up to deliver what's necessary. Now, youthful solutions in this regard are asking you to find that childlike sense, not the infantry, not the seedling, but that of the growing into being, the growing of age. You're discovering. You're looking for a solution to find balance on the journey where you are and also on the journey of where you're going. That is essential. There you will find the support for the nature in which you are. Now to nourish you during this full moon, you provide the message of Schisandra. Schisandra is saying sweet dreams because of its benefit of being able to aid in our dream experiences if taken before resting to recharge. Now, this is a Mercurian Aquarian card. So this is the way in which we are able to process collective, process symbology of a greater interconnectedness. Now this provides the ability for messages to come through, but it does so in a way to assist in intensity so that we're able to process it just a little better. This idea of working with a collective always requires it to meet you where you are at each and every step of the journey. So the sweet dreams with the useful solutions might be suggesting that it's time to consider what it is when you were younger, more willing to see the world in a positive light. What aspects of that were willing to come out of you? What dreams did you have to bring that to light? And to help nurture yourself during this time, you're provided the message of Rock Rose, which is asking you to be brave of that which you fear. Now, being brave requires you just to take the step regardless of what your emotional feelings are within. Meaning, your leap of faith is going to guide you to where you go. Now, that fear that you have is holding you back because you might have an expectation, or there's something in it that's greater for its resonance for you to step up. Sometimes the best things that allow us to feel fear, one way or another, guide us to overcome that fear at the same time. So allow that to come in, because this is a Venusian and a Scorpionic card. And a Venusian Scorpionic presence, essence, energy, this is providing you the ability to ensure that when you connect, you're connecting on the deepest, most depth of being. You're creating of depth. So ensure that you're being brave will ensure that you're looking to all the areas of reality so that your light can shine and continue to transform even that of the deepest of the depth. So I hope that message provides you and assists you today, Leo, and may you continue to shine your light. Thank you for tuning in and moving on to the next sign. Hello, buddy. I see you too. Welcome for joining me today. Would you like to say hi? Or you just like to be present? Yes, we love you too. Okay, buddy, watch out. So, moving on to the next sign, which is Virgo. So Virgo, your card today to help support your nature is Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is asking you to have extra tolerance at this time. It could be that something's currently coming up for you. It could be that there's a lot going on outside your control. And it very well could be that you're juggling a lot right now, only because of the fact that there's extra circumstances at play presently within your area. Now, this is a Mars in Libra, so it's about balance. Balance is key here because you want to ensure that you take action when it's in honor of both yourself and your environment. It's meeting it halfway through the balance. Because of this, you allow the divine harmony to come together like a dance. This is going to balance, so that extra tolerance is meaning that because you may be tested, having that tolerance right now will get you to where you need to be and help you grow as an individual. So continuing on to help nourish your nature during this full moon, Virgo, you're provided fennel, which is asking you to look into your spiritual abundance. Maybe there's so much present with you right now that you may not fully acknowledge. Maybe it's a part of you, or you're uncovering as we speak or as you unravel this experience presently. But this Mercurial Gemini essence is providing you the curiosity to allow a processing, to allow it to come into being. Be awareness, be experience, be as you are. Hello. So spiritual abundance arrives in many ways, and how we connect and uncover that comes through the unique light in which we each are. So the extra tolerance present might allow you to acknowledge or bring your attention to that spiritual abundance currently present. And to help nurture your nature during this time, it's asking you to be courageous, which is the message from Gentian. Gentian, which is also a Mars, but of a Scorpionic nature, is asking you to have the passion of depth, the passion to dive in, the passion to be courageous, so that you can very well acknowledge your spiritual abundance while also having a little tolerance for the circumstances that help you arrive there. It's all part of the journey because we cannot control everything that is presently around us. But how we react and respond is how well we're able to adapt to the environment that we are partaking in. Because sometimes it brings us more whole, it brings us more love, and it brings us more present to be the best of ourselves presently. So thank you, and I hope that message assists you today, Virgo. And with our guest today, we thank you for tuning in. Right, buddy? You look very cozy. I guess it's time to continue on with the message, isn't it? Yes, I see you too. You stay cozy. So, moving on to our next sign. So for our next sign, we're moving on to Libra. Libra, we're going to provide you a message today that will help support your nature, nourish your nature, and nurture your nature. So to begin, to help support your nature, you're provided the message of 𝒑𝒠𝒠𝒠, which is to overcome challenges. Sometimes there might be something in the way, there might be something that is willing to be tasked upon us, but where there's a will, there is a way. This Jupiterian yet Capricornian card allows us to expand the potential of our systems, the long term, the way in which we engage our external security. It is allowing an expansion because it means that at this time, we're ready to take on more. Because we can overcome challenges. On the other side of that challenge might be the reward that you're seeking, might be helping you along the way to get to where you need to go. And it might carry along a greater message for you to discover even more of yourself in a very unique experience. So that will help assist you to support and discover your own nature. Now, to nourish your nature during this time, you're provided the message of Irish sea moss. Now, this is to have a trusted reserve. Sometimes that means having a backup that you trust, having the ability to know you have something to depend on. That dependency is a knowing because you allowed that trust to happen, whether that is a trust in faith or a trust in the process itself. It is allowing you to arrive there knowing that if needed, that reserve is available. Now, this is a Jupiterian yet Aquarian card. It's like knowing that it's time to expand can always be pulled from the collective understanding. So when it's your time to grow, it will come to be. So that reserve is available to you. And sometimes it just takes a little time to trust. So moving on to help nurture your nature, you're provided the message of Mimulus. Mimulus is asking you to be brave of the known. This Venusian yet Leo card is providing the message that it's time to connect with your heart. It's time to connect with who you are and how it counts. So be brave of the known. Be brave of who you are. Be brave of the circumstances present before you. And even that is around you currently. Because you know it, and this is a known awareness, you know what to be brave of and for. So allow that to sink in, because it's honor the each little paths that we are all embarking on is very much the key for figuring out where this message fits to you on your journey. Because you are synchronistic enough to tune in, I hope this message continues to aid you. So to review, it's time to overcome challenges, have a trusted reserve, and be brave of the known. So thank you very much, Libra, for tuning in. Now, to continue on to our next sign, which is Scorpio. Scorpio, to help support your nature during this time, you're provided the message of 𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏😂💏. So this is allowing you to have blissful peace. This is allowing you to be present because you know you're in presence. Now, this is a Mars in Scorpio, which just happens to be both of the signs associated with the Scorpio resonance. Now, because you have a home sign, this is amplifying the energy potential. So maybe it's time to find a blissful peace in the depths of how you bring forward action, in the passions you have to give. Because positive actions can take you to discover your passion. Yeah. So blissful peace is available to you and presently, and is willing to support your nature where you see fit. So to nourish you at this time, Scorpio, you're given the gift of coconut. Now, coconut is an ego breaker. So maybe it's time to let go what you're attached to internally or identity-wise, because this is a Jupiterian Cancerian card, which is about your field. It's time to expand your heart space. Maybe it's less about the ego, more about the heart, because the heart's going to guide you to your passions the most. We may be analytical to figure things out, but how we identify in the present solution is not the solution that will help us in the future demand. So take that for what it is, and hopefully that message carries forth to assist you. To help nurture your nature during this time, you provide the message of rock water, which is to be self-loving. Maybe it's time to realize that that love that you have that you're willing to give, maybe stop with the ego and start with the heart, because the heart will guide you to who you truly are. And maybe it's time to be self-loving. Love yourself for who you are, for the nature, not the ego, not the role you play, but the nature. Because that nature is the gift that you're given by the world, by the presence, by the nature. So if you can allow and honor that, you will be guided and nurtured to become your best self in the presence of this current cycle. Now this is a Moon and Cancerian card, so it's all about your field. It's all about honoring and nurturing who you are, because you want to support your heart space, your admittance, so that you can truly be. So take that with you, because I think it's time for you to give a little time for yourself. Maybe it's time to recognize that time itself is the ability to be in the heart. And with the exchange, our presence is determined by the presence we're willing to be. So thank you for tuning in, Scorpio. And now let's proceed to the next sign, which is Sagittarius. So Sagittarian energy. We're going to provide you a message to help support you, which is carried forth by turkey tail. Yes, the mushroom, which is asking you to have blessed longevity. So this longevity is about going for the long haul. Now Sagittarius likes to aim for the stars, and we know that it's worth it in the end to sometimes commit to the actions of journey, the actions of adventure, knowing that we may never discover what's at the end of it, but the discovery and the curiosity to set forth will find us along the way to see forth that blessed longevity. Because the longevity of universe, the longevity of all things coming together, the longevity of our part in it, the dance continuously on evermore, is part of why we're present here and why we will be present, because the universe provides and guides. This Mars in Libra saying it's time to balance action, and with whom? Maybe yourself, maybe with universe, maybe in between. You will find that the best way to be is to simply be, and in doing so will be effortless for you to find that blessed longevity, because along that path you will find many blessings along a time of being. So going on to nourish yourself during this full moon, Sagittarius, is bladderak, which is asking you to seek shallow solutions. So shallow solutions are those that you can see within the waters and can reach and grab. So this is something that you can see within the waters, but you have to do the work. But it's visible, so you don't have to try too hard and you don't have to look too long. So if you have this Jupiterian Capricornian, a solution brings forth an expansion, a solving, so that you can become further along your path. If you encounter a problem or a challenge, a solution will clear the way so that you may continue on or find a way to be better than you were before. Why you salute, why you bring forth a solution will have long-term potential to shape the rest of your life here on out. So who knows? It's only within reach. So to help nurture your nature during this time as well, you're given the essence of willow. Willow is telling you to be nurturing. So if you're being nurturing in a Venusian yet Scorpionic presence, this is asking you to connect with the depth of being, the depth of connections, the depth of creation itself. Now to be nurturing is to honor, to bring it into being, what it is, of it is, as it is. So if it is nurtured, you provide it what it needs to grow, to become its best self. We nurture seeds so that they may become tall and big and provide fruit for many generations. We provide nurturing because the nurturing allows it to come to be. And if we're aware of where to nurture, by nurturing, we can provide it the gift to become its best self. And in a sense, one of the best teachers in life comes from nature itself. So when the nurturer is asking you to nurture, then it's time to fractally accept your role in universe, because together, you and universe are still the same act of creation. So I hope that message carries forth with you today, and thank you for tuning in, Sagittarius. So moving on to the next sign, Capricorn. Capricorn, to help support your nature, you're provided the message of red reishi. Red reishi is asking you to have immortal values. Now this means that it stands the test of time, and those values are true, solid, and honor nature. So when you look at this Mars Capricornian energy, because you are tuned into Capricorn, could be time to take action. Could be time to act on those immortal values that are present. Or it is time to act or find passionate means to connect with immortal values. Because what is present and what is will always be. Those truths, those solidarities are part of what brings a value. Because to us, we value what we care about. We value what is important to us on an individual scale. So that is guiding you to find what is important to you this life, next life, past life, throughout all of it. What is the common theme of what you value? What is it that is worth valuing? Not just this lifetime, but for many others. To help nourish you during this full moon though, you're given the gift of oregano. Oregano is asking you or providing you with protective love. Now, maybe it's something you'd like to protect or someone's protective of you, but that love is providing the protection by giving you the gift of feeling safe, secure, and willing to let your guard down because you are protected. And that love is present within you so that you could be as you are, who you are, and the nature of what you came to be. And because of the mortal values present, it could just be that protective love is present with you because of the state of what you honor and value. So to help bring forth the nurturing aspect for your nature, you're given the gift of violet. Violet is telling you to be intuitive. Maybe it's time to draw in that energy, what you already know, what can come into knowledge, awareness, without the need of language, without the words. It's the way in which you connect your field to the energy that you're embarking upon. This Venusian yet Libra card brings balance to your experience because you, by your field, can connect to be receptive, to communicate with what's around you. So you can understand, based off your senses present, what it is that's meant to come into being. Because in a way, you know to react by instinct. You're intuitive because it can come in to you. It comes into it. In it is itself yourself. In which case, you become you through the essence of being present and balanced of that which you're receptive to. Now, if that's not creation of itself, then what is? So, I hope that message assists you today, Capricorn, and thank you very much for tuning in. Moving on to the next sign, we arrive at Aquarius. So Aquarius, you're present here because you're being provided the message to support your nature with milk thistle. Milk thistle is asking you to have a purging and purifying process. This Jupiterian yet Virgonian process is maybe asking you to really look into what counts. Do you really need it all? Is there something that needs healing? Do you need to purge and purify? Is there time to clear space? Is it time to let go of something so that we can bring back the essence of what truly is? Maybe there's something more meaningful underneath it. Maybe it's time to take that step forward, to clear away blockages, to clear away the clutter, to clear away what we no longer want to have a part of us, our life, our space, so that you could find that purity, that purification method, however you choose to embark on it, even through the essence of utilizing emotional clearing techniques like writing on newspaper and burning it without reading. The releasing and transmutation of these actions allow you to clear and make way so that they're not a part of you. You find a way for them to continue on the journey of reality and become something else. And when you clear and make space, you will allow more to come in, more to be, more to honor what is present. And sometimes you will notice that sometimes it's best to purge because what you have underneath it all might be better than all of it together. So consider that option. To help nourish you during this time, Aquarius, You're giving kombu. Now, kombu is a seaweed in which it's used to flavor dishes in Japan. And sometimes it's allowed to soak in the broth to bring forth umami, an extra flavor, so that you can enrich your dish. And it's not always kept inside the dish and you don't always consume it. So the removal of the process provides in not only nutrients, but flavor that you may not have before. So its seasoning is an addition to receive. Now, the message provided by kombu specifically is an essential primer. You are allowing a process to unfold to increase the capacity of what you're bringing forth. You're allowing an enrichment of flavor. You're introducing additional nutrients. You can provide it an additional step that will multiply based off what you can do by that action. Because it's not always permanent, but it's the step in the process that enriches it the most. And sometimes these traditions, what's available and what can come from it, enriches the situation because it can become even greater than itself. So this is a moon with a Virgonian essence. So this is about your field. This is the way how you feel in general. This is how you can see within your field itself. Sometimes it's good to purge and purify so that your field itself and those that you feel, your feelings, are able to be what really counts. Maybe it's time to let go because you know too much is bothering you. Maybe it's time to graduate from that stage of life, from that phase of life that provided you all this into being. And by a little purging, a little clearing away, a little undoing to make room, to make way, you may uncover something that may have been perceived lost but was there all along. And it may function even better. And for it to be an essential primer, maybe it's important to take that purging to purify, because what comes after it might build you up a whole new life altogether. And to give you the nurturing during this time, Aquarius, you're provided the essence of crabapple, which is quite a good one to receive. And it's asking you to just simply be you. That's all. Be you. So maybe there's parts of yourself that you picked up from other people or circumstances or pressures. Maybe it's time to let them go. It's time to just be you for who you are, by your nature, for your nature. Because the gifts and the opportunities your uniqueness can bring into the world is only something you can do. No one's going to ever be you. Only you can. So be you unconditionally, unapologetically, and truly for what you are. This Venusian Aquarius card, which is amplifying your Aquarian nature, is telling you, tap into the connections that count. Clear away what needs to be purged so that you can have a more true, honest, and clear connection with yourself to be who you are, to be your truth, to be the essence in nature in which you're gifted to be. Why not? So, hope that message helps you today. And if you're tuning in, good for you, right? Why not? Good for you. So take that in, and thank you very much for tuning in, Aquarius. So to complete the 12 signs, we now arrive at Pisces. Now Pisces, to help support your nature during this full moon phase, you're given the gift of wild yarrow, and it's asking you to have cooling depth. Maybe you need to reach down and find the solidity that keeps us together, to calm things down and bring a peaceful manner. So this Jupiterian yet Virgonian essence says it's time to expand what it is we use to heal while looking at the details. So it's time to expand our perception of what we can look into, because maybe there's something important there that will carry us onward for the next step of the journey. So that cooling depth means it's time to go deep. Why? Because when we go deep, we're able to come into a cooling state. Sometimes it allows us to hold solidity. Sometimes it allows us to hold crystalline shape so that we might become more clear. I know with a water sign like Pisces, cooling it brings it to a slower pace, brings it to become solid and present and have form. So maybe that's a message for you, Pisces. So to help nourish your nature during this time, you're given the gift of elderberry. Elderberry is asking you to have a spiritual guardian. Now, it could be that you currently already have one, or it could be that your spiritual guardian is someone else. But because you're connected to spirit, especially with the Pisces resonances, you're very close to the receptive releasing of things coming out so that one day may form again. So during the cycle of being, the Pisces allows you to be connected to the waters of universe because the spirit that is present there is still a part of the universe. So that spiritual guardian is still with you. Even if you may be unable to perceive it, the signs and synchronicities will show itself. You will know you're on the right path. And even if you're unaware, sometimes those mistakes you make will come with secret blessings to show that maybe you do have a guardian that you may not always see all the time, but is present with you, looking out for you and for you, to support you on this journey and in the future. So maybe that's going to help nourish you to know that you do have a spiritual guardian, because it will help you get to the next level of being who you are as you are. So this is a very Saturnian yet Capricornian card. So maybe this is a long-term structure and system that is presently in place so that you can be able to dive into that cooling depth, so that you can slow down, trust the process, and trust that spirit is looking out for you. So, final card of the day is to help nurture your nature. Now this is cherry plum, and cherry plum is stating to be accurate. So make it clear what you want to state. Maybe it's time to slow down so that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. Think about that. This Venusian yet Virgonian card says to have connections that count, but only continue those connections if they support you continuously on afterwards. We can only give so much, but what counts and what's true and supporting of the journey ahead will continue to be those that continue to shine and assist us. So be accurate who you connect to, be accurate what you create, and be accurate to consider that spirit is with you. So time to slow down, to be, take a time to smell the roses. Because in those moments, you will be gifted with who knows what. And sometimes that who knows what becomes just who you are. So let it be, and you will find all your answers. So thank you for tuning in, Pisces. Thank you for all the signs who are present, who are willing to experience this video. And even if you experiencing this here may not even discover this because you only tune in towards the end or Pisces or let it play, thank you for being. Thank you for taking the time to come into the world, to partake in the experience collectively and individually, so that you are along the dance and song of universe, so that you are present to have an experience, to grow, to expand, to become even more, to do more from you, for you, as you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to support your nature. Thank you for nourishing your nature, and thank you for nurturing your nature. All of it as your nature, for your nature, by your nature, will guide you to who you're going to be, who you are, and who you have been. So honor it, love it, and allow it to just simply be. Thank you for being. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, stay true.